I'm Rejuv Esthetics inside of the Rejuv Medical Center here today, and I had a first-time client in here last week, and it really got me thinking that maybe a lot of you guys have questions about just even what a simple facial is, or what the difference between what we're doing here at Rejuv versus maybe going to a spa would be. And so I wanted to just talk to you a little bit more about that and kind of clarify how we're different, some of the additional things that we can do outside of the facials, because I do think that it's a really, really great building block. It's a good stepping stone to get you started inside of the world of aesthetics, but that's also something I want to touch base on before we start talking about the facials. I go to a lot of different networking events and, do a lot of promotions on Facebook, of course, as you guys can see. But a lot of people come to me and say, well, Nicole, what is aesthetics? And really what aesthetics is the cosmetic care of your skin. So whether that be through different types of treatments, whether that be, really nice facials, laser treatments, microneedling, chemical peels, it could be hair removal or hair reduction. There's a lot of additional things. I think one of the best things about aesthetics, though, is the way that we can make you feel better. Whether that be by improving your confidence from removing maybe acne scarring or some of those age spots, or even just giving you that break on a regular basis to come in for a facial, just so you have that time to decompress and really just have some alone time, relax, and just kind of regroup for the month. So that's really what aesthetics is in a nutshell. But like I said, I had a first timer here last week for a facial, and I was chatting with her, and she really had some very good questions for me that it's been a long time since I've thought about. And one of them was, why do I need a facial, and what is a facial even at all? One of the things that she said to me is she always had the misconception that a facial was something that ritzy people came in to do just to have their face washed. And I want you guys to know that it is so much more than that. So really, to walk you through what a facial looks like, for the most part, we're going to do some form of cleansing. So yes, of course, people are coming in to have their face washed, and trust me, you don't have to be ritzy just to do that either. We love anybody who wants to come in and care for their skin to improve the health of it. But most facials are going to look like a cleansing. There will be some form of exfoliation. Oftentimes there will be extractions, which is really just kind of a fancy word for removing blackheads from the pores, helping to alleviate any type of impactions that might be inside of there. Sometimes there's a facial massage. There's generally a mask that's included with that too. And then of course we always like to finish you up with any type of customized treatment product that would be specific to your skin type and concern. So that's really what a basic facial is going to look like, really no matter where you go. Why are they beneficial? Well, the nice thing about facials is they really can be customized for anybody, no matter who you are. So let's say you are a teenager who's just starting to struggle with a little bit of breakouts, some congestion, and you really want to learn a little bit more about your skin. That's really where we would come in. We can teach you a few different things about that, clear that up so you will have, nice clear skin long term. We also can really help the person who has a lot of experience with maybe laser treatments or anti-aging treatments and everything else in between, to really maintain some of those things. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But facials are just really good for turning over the skin cells, giving a nice exfoliation, and then adding anything else back in there that as professionals we would have kind of in our back bar, or I always like to think in my back pocket, for your skin that you might not have at home. So that's really what a facial is all about. A lot of people ask, why do I even need a facial? Well, facials are really important because it's going to help to improve the overall skin cell turnover of your skin. It's really going to help reduce acne. It can help to reduce some finer signs of aging, sunspots, things like that. But it's also very preventative. If you're coming in and having regular treatments done routinely to help prevent some of those things from happening in the first place, we don't need to go in with some of our deeper treatments like laser treatments, microneedling, chemical peels, things like that, to help get rid of them because we've prevented that from happening in the first place. So now I know what you're thinking. You guys are a medical facility. Why are you talking to me about facials, and why can't I just go to a spa to have something like that done? Well, there's a big difference between what we can do here for you at Rejuv and what you can do at a spa. You know, when I think of a spa facial, and don't get me wrong, these are great. Very early in my career, that's what I did. I worked in spas and I loved it because it was all about that fluffy facial, you know, let's get going with that nice massage, and it was very, very feel good. Unfortunately, with some of the products that are used in those treatments, we're not really going to see a clinical result. And that's the biggest difference about the treatments here that we do at Rejuv. We can give you that nice spa relaxing experience. However, we have products here that are only going to be dispensed to physicians' offices. So we can get a little bit deeper into some of those issues for you and really help to resolve them a little bit faster and more thoroughly. The other nice thing with that too is we have additional tools available to us that are only going to be used in physicians' offices. You guys hear me talking about laser all the time. We can get you going and, you know, kind of get you started into the world of aesthetics with some of these facial treatments. But if you really want to make some big changes, we can get in there with some of those laser treatments or maybe some of our other devices that your spa necessarily wouldn't have. And that way you don't have to worry about going somewhere else, meeting somebody new, kind of going through that whole get to know you process all over again, just to take your treatments up to that next level. So I think that's really the biggest difference between us here at Rejuv and what you could have at a spa. The other thing that's really important to think about with that is we also have an entire medical staff here that we like to integrate into all of our treatments. So my client that was here last week, that was a first timer, the reason she came to me was because she was struggling with some breakouts and some acne. Well, we talked a lot about what she could be doing at home, you know, some of the different ways that she can improve her routine, and also helping to really improve the consistency of treatments, because of course she's never had one done again, so we want to have her come back again soon. But some of the other things that we really dove into outside of that were, you know, let's talk a little bit more about nutrition. We have individuals here that are really well versed in different types of optimization of supplements, hormones, things like that. So we really explored a lot of other options outside of, hey, are you using a cleanser, toner, moisturizer? Great. You know, and we do discuss all of that, but we go a lot deeper. We're integrating. We want to make sure that this is really very integrated. It's all about the whole body. It's not just about coming in and having a fluffy spa facial. So that being said, my gal that was here last week, she wanted to know how often she should come back for a facial because she'd never had one. And what I had really recommended for her was coming in about once every 4 weeks. And the reason I recommended that was because that's oftentimes how our skin cell turnover cycle is going to be self-regulating. Unfortunately, when we get to a certain age, it kind of slows down, so we want to keep regulating that. So by consistently exfoliating the skin and adding all of those additional nutrients to the skin, we can really slow that progression down and of course help to prevent some of the aging from progressing quite as quickly. Especially in her case, because she's in her early 20s, she's dealing with acne. We really want to get in there so we can do those extractions on a regular basis. Her skin cells are going to be sloughing and turning over a little bit more consistently than what they were doing on their own. So that's really where the professional treatment comes in. We can get in there a lot deeper than what you're doing at home, just on your own. Something else that came up for her, she had asked if she can have a treatment done in the summertime. Absolutely yes. That is 100% the best, safest thing that you can do for your skin in the summertime, because some of the laser treatments that we do in the summertime, unfortunately, we can't do them in the summer because of sun exposure. There's a lot of risks for complications for that, so we have to tell you no to some of those treatments. But facials are fantastic in the summer because we can get in there, we can remove that buildup of all of those environmental toxins that we're encountering from being outside so much more frequently. Also, I know because all of you are wearing sunscreen, you know, sometimes our skin just feels a little different from applying extra sunscreen this time of year. It's really great to get in there, help to just reestablish a very healthy moisture balance within the skin and exfoliate. So that's a really, really, good thing to do in the summertime. And that way come fall, our skin hasn't been quite as beat up from the summer and quite as damaged. And that way we don't have to do as much over the winter months to really maintain those results for you. Something else that had come up when she came in last week was she wanted to know if she could have a facial while she's using some other acne treatment products. So she had a couple of prescription products that she's currently using on her skin at home. And the answer again is absolutely yes. That is something that we do need you to disclose to us when you come in because we really want to educate you on the best way for you to be using those in combination with the treatment. And that goes for some of those anti-aging products too, Retin-A. We can absolutely do products do treatments while you're using those products at home. But the thing is, we need to know that you're using those so we don't injure you. We of course want to help you. So that's really just important for us to know that, and you can continue using those at home. The last question that she wanted to know about when she was here is, how can she maintain the results of a facial? And really that's going to come down to, using consistent, good skincare routines at home. So that's going to mean regular cleansing, both morning and evening, applying the appropriate treatment product, whether that be a serum, a moisturizer, of course sunscreen in the morning, and then exfoliating at home on a regular basis too. Whether that means 2 to 3 times a week for you or, maybe less than that for different types of skin. The other important thing, to maintain the results of that facial, continue to come in. Like I said, that 4-week time marker is really the ideal amount of time. For some individuals, we don't need to see them quite as frequently, but please, please, please don't go longer than 12 weeks, especially here in Minnesota. We have these really great seasonal changes, as you all know, and that's something that we want to make sure we can get in there, get rid of some of the summer buildup in the fall, get our skin nice and happy and healthy and hydrated so it has a smoother transition into winter, and then we're not having to do as much work in the winter time to maintain that moisture and everything for you guys. So that's really all that I have to share with you today about facials, why they're important, how often you should have them. If you have any other questions, I would love to hear from you. You can call me at 320-217-8480, or you can even set up a free skin consultation. That's something that everyone in our aesthetics department and on our team loves to sit down and really educate you guys a little bit more about what we can offer for you specifically. Again, any free consultations can be scheduled at that same number that I just said, or you can feel free to email me directly if you're more of a techie digital type of person, and my email address is nicoles@rejuvmedical.com. Looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. Can't wait to talk to you. Bye!